Okay, so I guess now would be the best time to talk about Batman Arkham Knight. I mean, it's been like what, a couple days, almost a week since this game was even announced. I'm just now getting to my video on it. I apologize about that. You guys know that I want to talk about this. I mean, it's the newest fucking Batman game just announced. Rocksteady is back doing this. Kevin Conroy is back doing this. We get the fucking Batmobile. We get a playable Batmobile. Are you serious? Yes, of course I want to talk about this. And I'm sorry this video is just now getting to you guys, but my internet has just been shit. That's why I had to re-upload that Punisher review. That's why I still haven't gotten out that one Lego Batman tutorial out to you guys. So, just hang in there with me, okay? My internet's been really acting up lately. It's been really shitty. I have a shitty cable company and internet provider. Just fuck you, Dish TV. I mean, it's worse. Don't get it at all. Don't know why I have it, but it's just been fucking up all my shit lately. I just hate it. It's annoying as hell. But I'm now finally going to talk to you guys about Batman Arkham Knight, the newest game coming to us from Rocksteady Studios in the Batman Arkham franchise. The finale in the Batman Arkham franchise, as Rocksteady has officially confirmed this is the last game in the Batman games, and I gotta say, that's really, really satisfying to me personally. But it's also very, very sad and very, very, very sentimental to me personally. I'm happy because I'm glad Rocksteady is now finally, told and finished their story of Batman. They finally have officially told their story for Batman, the story that they wanted to tell, the story that these guys have been telling since 2009. I'm glad they finally have some closure with that series. And I'm finally happy that we get a finale to the Arkham franchise. This is one of my favorite iterations of Batman of all time. Right up there with the Nolan movies or the animated series. One of my favorite iterations of Batman ever, the Batman Arkham franchise. Yes, even you, not so great Arkham Origins, you're still passable. Barely, but still passable. Um, and I'm also very, very sad and very, very sentimental towards this being the finale because, it's the finale. It's the last game. This is the last game, and then that's about it. Now, there is a rumor running that they will continue the Batman Arkham games with Warner Brother WB Montreal doing more games within the prequel universe, which I don't know if I'm gonna buy them then. I definitely know I'm not gonna buy them at launch, but I don't know. I don't think I'm gonna buy them. I mean, they will not at all live up to these beautiful games, but yeah. But I'm very, very sentimental and sad towards this being the finale because this is it. This is the last game. This is all that they're going to be doing. This is the finale. This is the closure to the series, to the franchise. And that makes me sad because this is a franchise of games. This is a franchise, a series that I've grown up with as time has went on. This is a series that I've been playing since I was a little kid, since I was 9 years old when Arkham Asylum first came out. So finally see this come to an end, it's really, really sad. It's one of those very bittersweet moments where you're glad that the series is over, you're glad that, everything is wrapped up in a nice bow, but, everything is now wrapped up in a nice bow and that's it. You can't reopen it or anything. That's it. That's the series. It's a very bittersweet moment. Like, you're happy that it's all over, you finally got closure, but you're really sad because, it's over. You finally got closure. So, it's a very bittersweet one of those kind of things. Like the same feeling that you got when Harry Potter ended or when Star Wars ended. Oh, wait, it didn't end because we're getting episode 7 in 2015. I'll see that then. But, we'll never get closure with Star Wars if you really want to know. But, we're getting closure with this. And this is the final. This is the big final one. And with that comes a lot of expectations. With, this being the final one, a lot of people are expecting some big things to happen in this game. I, of course, am expecting some big things to happen in this game. Some people are even speculating that Batman's going to die in this. I mean, yeah, that's kind of... I can see where some of the speculation for that would come from. I mean, this is the last one. Killing off Batman would definitely put that nail into the coffin, no pun intended. Batman being dead, coffin and everything. I can definitely see where a lot of people would get that, would speculate on that, but just because it's the last game, the franchise doesn't mean I think you have to kill off Batman. I mean, I would definitely not see that coming, and I would definitely really, say kudos to that for doing something really ballsy like that. Even Nolan couldn't even do that. I mean, I love Dark Knight Rises, but come on, Nolan, you really couldn't kill off Batman. You had to have him in that really stupid scene at the end. That's a whole other rant for another day, but I would definitely give them a lot of credit, and I would definitely give them, big kudos to them for doing something really ballsy and unexpected like that. But I don't think you have to kill him off. But yeah, a lot of people are expecting a lot of big stuff from this game, and there are some big stuff from this game. And right now, as I did with Arkham Origins last year when that game came out, I'm going to be doing a series of videos, a series of update videos on a lot of the current news about this game. So this is part one in a multiple part series of videos where I update you guys on the news regarding Batman Arkham Knight. So let's get started with part one. And the first thing I think we should talk about is, well, the title, Arkham Knight, which, do I think it's a good, fitting title for the final game of the Arkham franchise? When I first heard it, I was like, okay, yeah, whatever, and I think it's actually grown on me. I actually really do like it. When I first heard it, I was thinking to myself, that seems like a really good title. I mean, Batman is like the Knight of Arkham. Like, not only is he the Knight of Gotham, but he's kind of like the Knight of Arkham. I mean, anytime that a big fiasco has risen with Arkham, Batman has, went there and, solved the case, like the whole fiasco in Arkham Island, the whole ordeal with Arkham City. He is kind of like the Arkham Knight, and to have the last game be called, Arkham Knight, it's very, very fitting. Because the whole madness of Arkham is finally coming full circle to Gotham City, and now he has to put a stop to that. It does make sense why it would be called, Arkham Knight. But Batman has to fight the villains in Gotham this time, and I'll get into why when I talk about the plot of the game. So if he has to fight all the villains in Gotham and save Gotham once and for all in this game, why the fuck is it going to call Batman Gotham Knight? In fact, there's so many different iterations of Batman, or there's so many different other Batman material and movies and animated TV shows or comic books or whatever that I don't understand why it wasn't called Batman Gotham Knight. I mean, there's so many things like the Dark Knight Rises. Why didn't you just call that Gotham Knight? I understand why it was called Dark Knight Rises, but I think Gotham Knight would have been a very unexpected, ballsy, and also better title because he's saving Gotham. He is the Knight of Gotham. Not only is he the Dark Knight, but he's the Knight of Gotham. Why isn't this just called Gotham Knight? I mean, he's saving Gotham. I think that's a much better title. But if we're gonna settle on Arkham Knight, I don't really mind it. I mean, it actually does make a whole lot more sense given the whole theory on Batman being the Knight of Arkham and everything. And it's definitely a big step up from Arkham Origins, where that couldn't have been called anything other than Arkham and it would have fit. I mean, this had nothing to do with Arkham, so why was it called Arkham? Then again, I already bitched about that when I reviewed Arkham Origins, so go check out my video on Arkham Origins if you want to know why I hated that. But that's not the only reason why the game is being titled Arkham Knight. The main reason is because there actually is a new character in the game titled, or named the Arkham Knight. And this character is actually a brand new villain that's going to be making his first appearance in this game. And don't, be worried if you're a big Batman fan and you haven't heard of this villain. I haven't heard of this villain either because this is a brand new villain brought to us from Rocksteady that is being made and conceived specifically and exclusively for this game. And he's being conceived by big DC comic writer and editor Jeff Johns. So I think we have nothing to worry about regarding this villain. And this villain, we really don't have anything, no real big information regarding this villain. All we have is that Rocksteady described the villain as a more militaristic Batman. He's sort of like an anti-Batman, so he's kind of like Prometheus. Not the Ridley Scott movie that was kind of confusing, but I still ended up liking the villain Prometheus in the DC comic books. He is like I mentioned, an anti-Batman. He's the main villain of the game, and he's really shrouded in mystery, and for good reason because this is a made-up villain for the game. Specifically for this game, he's a completely new Batman villain, and I'm not gonna lie, I actually really am looking forward to this villain. Although we don't have too much to look forward, we don't have too much information about him. I think that's what I like. They're keeping this character shrouded in mystery, and I like that. I'm glad that we're getting a brand new Batman villain because there's only so many times that you can use the same Batman villains and over again to the point where we start to think, okay, let's make a new Batman villain. And it's been a while since we actually got a brand new, big Batman villain, and I'm glad that we're getting this villain. And the villain ends up being really, really good, like really very interesting and really, really good. then I wouldn't mind seeing the villain show up in the, the new comic books and animated, TV series, or hell, maybe an animated movie or a live action movie if the character ends up being really really good. But from the picture that I have for you guys, and that's in the link in the description, and from what has been described of this Batman villain, I think the best way that I can sum up how he looks is that he kind of looks like if Tony Stark decided that he was going to build an Iron Man suit but model it after Batman. I think that's the best way that I can describe him to you guys. But the picture that I have that's in the link in the description is in silhouette. Like, you can't really see too many of the details, but that's kind of what it looks like. Like where the eye sockets should be, or they light up and it looks very very robotic. It obviously is a Batman esque suit. But we don't really have too many details on it because, again, it's shrouded in silhouette, and we don't really have too many details on it, not only from Rocksteady, but from the actual picture itself. I'm not sure if this is the official picture we'll be getting in the Game Informer issue that will be coming out next month, or if this is the official picture that we will be getting in the Game Informer issue next month. I have no idea, but for right now, this is the way that the character looks. He's very shrouded in mystery, and he's shrouded in silhouette in the picture I have for you below. But that's the way that he looks. He looks very, very odd, and he's an anti-Batman, but he is, obviously a very Batman, a very Batman-inspired Batman villain. He wears a Batman-like suit with the ears and everything, but it looks very, very robotic to me. They describe it as militarized, while I would describe it as mechanized, or, very machine-like. And then again, these are the guys that are making the game. They know more than me, so I don't know. And again, the picture is very shrouded in mystery, so I don't know how it's going to look like in the game. And a lot of people are speculating that this isn't specifically a brand new villain, but instead a Batman villain that we all know from previous Batman lore, just in disguise. And some of those people are speculating that it may be the Joker, and to an extent, I will agree with that. I find it hard to believe that Joker will not have some type of presence in this game, especially a physical presence. The Joker has been in every single Batman Arkham game in the Arkham franchise to date, even in Arkham Origins. So I find it hard to believe that he won't have some type of presence, especially a physical presence, in the final game for the Batman Arkham franchise. And a lot of people are speculating that he is the Arkham Knight. And I agree with that to an extent, but the way they describe him in the Game Informer issue, he kind of, he's like a physical match to Batman, like he fights in hand-to-hand combat with martial arts moves and whatever, and that just doesn't sound the Joker to me. Some people have also speculated that this may be Jason Todd, and I actually I first agreed on that, like, hey, that actually sounds like a really good idea, but then the more I thought about it, it doesn't make any sense at all. Jason Todd is a Batman villain, but nothing of that makes any damn sense whatsoever. One, Jason Todd wants revenge against the Joker for, killing him. Jason Todd was the second Robin. He was killed by Joker, but then resurrected later in the Batman storyline, Batman Under the Hood. And if he wants revenge against the Joker, why is he here? I mean, the Joker died. Batman, he didn't kill him, but the Joker died in Arkham City. Why would Jason Todd be back, and why wouldn't he be as Red Hood? Why would he make up a new moniker as the Arkham Knight? It just doesn't make any sense at all. And why would he want to kill Batman? I mean, not only does he not want to kill Batman, ever, he's a Batman villain, but he doesn't want to kill Batman, but Batman, to everyone else, seemingly killed the Joker, so, Jason Todd would be, sucking his dick at this point, oh, thank you for killing the Joker, why would he want to kill the Joker? It just doesn't make any sense. So I don't expect that it will be Jason Todd. It would be cool and very interesting, if it was Jason Todd, but it wouldn't make any sense, so in that case, I don't want it to be Jason Todd. But some people have also theorized that it's Prometheus, which I mentioned before. He's sort of the anti-Batman, which I would agree on, but why would it be Prometheus if it's the Arkham Knight? This is a new character. Why would Prometheus come up with another new alias? Why wouldn't it just be Prometheus? I don't know. A lot of these theories aren't really all that, holding up at all. Usually with a game or whatever, there's some type of theory that I would agree on and I would go with, but none of these theories are really making any damn sense. I would like to see Rocksteady maybe make one of these theories actually make sense, actually have one of these theories be truthful, and I would like to see how they, make that work. But for right now, I don't think any of these theories are actually, at concrete. I mean, the theories, they're not going to be concrete anyways, but I think the word I'm looking for is I don't think any of these theories are, good theories. Let's just put it that way. But that about does it for the title of the game. For right now, it's kind of a mystery who the Arkham Knight is. Maybe it is just a brand new character that has nothing to do with any other Batman character before. Who knows? There actually is a video I will put a link in the description to, which is from Batman Arkham Videos, which, by the way, go subscribe to Batman Arkham Videos because these guys are experts on everything that has to do with the Batman Arkham games and do great videos with, gameplay footage, Easter eggs for all the other Batman games. Subscribe to them because they are great, and I get majority of my news from them, as well as BatmanNews.com. Definitely check out BatmanNews.com, your number one source for all stuff Batman news. It's, one of the best Batman websites of all time, if not the best Batman website of all time. So I'll put a link in the description to the Batman Arkham Videos channel, as well as a link in the description to the website batman-news.com. These are the two sources where I get majority of my news from, and it's probably where I'll get the links for all the information I put in the description box below. But enough about that. Let's move on to the next piece of news, which is the biggest piece of news that was dropped on this game, which is the Batmobile. We are finally getting, in the fourth Batman game, the last Batman game, we are finally getting the Batmobile, which just makes me so goddamn excited. Like, if this game was announced, like, oh, hey, here's a new Batman game, Batman Arkham Knight, the last Batman game, and the Batmobile wasn't at all announced, and, no Batmobile in this game, I'd be like, okay, yeah, I'm excited, I'm gonna get the game, yeah, definitely for sure. But the Batmobile, excelled my expectations, and the Batmobile just, it literally just made me want to get the game even more. Like, it was awesome. It was like, I was sitting there watching the show, I was saying, oh my god, this is awesome, this is, a great game, I can't wait to get it. And then when the Batmobile showed up, I had a mini heart attack. It was just ridiculous. The Batmobile, it was great. And I was waiting until I waited until after the show to find out if the Batmobile was actually going to be playable and drivable in the game. Because in the game it shows up the Batmobile, but that can mean anything. It doesn't mean that the Batmobile is going to be actually in the game. So I waited until I read some articles, and the articles that I read confirmed that the Batmobile is playable. And it's going to be this really badass, really sweet, cool, very original, well, not really very original, but a very cool, very awesome Batmobile, which is, I think the best way I can describe the way it looks is that it's kind of like a mix between the Christopher Nolan Batman Tumbler from the Dark Knight trilogy, slash the 1989 Tim Burton Batmobile, the Burtonmobile as I like to call it, or the animated series Batmobile. I think that's the best way I can describe it. Like, it looks very militaristic, it looks very tank-like. It has, like, the bat fins in the back of the Batmobile, like the 89 Batmobile and the animated series Batmobile. It looks like an absolute beast. Like, it looks amazing. I'm really glad that Rocksteady didn't just settle on remolding and or reusing the Batmobile model from Arkham Asylum and just reusing that and putting it in this game. I'm glad they were like, let's do something. Let's have a little bit of fun with this. Let's make another or brand new original, well, not very original, but another new Batmobile. And this is seriously just for the show, and this is probably like one of my favorite Batmobiles. Still, 1966 Batmobile from the Adam West TV series is still by far my favorite, but this is probably probably in like the top 5, maybe even 3. It's definitely a very badass looking Batmobile. It looks absolutely amazing. It looks like a killer. I mean, just the sheer sight of it would just make me piss my pants in gear. It just looks absolutely badass. Like, why is Batman even just like that? You can just go around, flying around the streets of Gotham with that thing, and I would just be intimidated as all hell. That would just drop crime drastically, alone. And some of the stuff that was actually revealed about this was the Batmobile was pretty much the main reason why this game took so long to develop and took as long as it did to make. As you guys all know, who played the Batman Arkham games, the Batman Arkham games took at least a minimum of 2 years to make and develop. Arkham Asylum took 2 years to develop. Arkham City took 2 years to develop. Arkham Origins took 2 years to develop. This took 3. Arkham City came out way back in 2011, and once they were finished with that game, once that game came out, they started working on this thing on Arkham Knight, and Arkham Knight took 3 years alone to make, not only because of the Batmobile, although that is the main reason, but because of the story reasons and all that other stuff. This game took 3 years to develop. 3 years. So, I think that kind of debunks anyone's worries that, oh, the next Batman game is just going to be a big cash grab. Because if this was truly a cash grab, they would have had this game come out like last year, right when the next gen consoles were, just came out. And that is another big thing about this game. The game will be only sold exclusively on the platforms that are PS4 and Xbox One. They'll only be sold exclusively for the next gen consoles, which I gotta say, it's disappointing because I don't have one. I don't have a PS4. Don't got an Xbox One. It also will be available on PC. Don't have a PC either. So, in the moment I'm doing this video right now, at this very time, I'm kind of fucked. I have like no money. I don't have half $1,000 to get an Xbox One or a PS4 or anything like that at this moment, but I still got another 7 months or 6.5 months or whatever. Still got a long time, bottom line, to figure out what I'm gonna do when to get an Xbox One or PS4 or any next gen console for that matter. I have a lot of time. I mean, this game comes out actually a full month after my birthday, so maybe I'll just end up asking my folks, hey, can I get an Xbox One or a PS4? Or maybe I'll just get some of the birthday money that I usually get for my birthday. I'll just, put it towards an Xbox One or whatever. But I don't know. But this really worries me because not only do I have to worry about getting full $60 to get this game, but I have to worry about getting a full half $1,000, $500 for an Xbox One or a PS4. But then again, by the time this game does come out, by the time my birthday rolls around, hopefully, I'm hoping that at least one of the next gen consoles, drastically drops. The price drastically drops, if not just a little bit, so I can save at least a couple dollars and walk away with a couple bucks in my hand after I purchase this giant behemoth of a $500 gaming system. But whatever. That's the main. That's something I was actually kind of dreading with this announcement. Like, I was hoping that they would announce a new Batman game. I was hoping that Rocksteady would announce it, and then there was a little voice in my head that was saying, "Oh wait, if they make it, it's gonna be on next gen." But I'm glad that they came out and said that the only reason why it's on next gen consoles and the only reason why it took as long as it did to develop is because of the Batmobile. Rocksteady is to me a very fan-pleasing, very fan-serviceable group of game developers. They do everything with their games that would please the fans. They really ask themselves, okay, what can we do with the game that would very much please the fans? And they strike me as people that if the game was able to be ported onto the last gen consoles, they would have done it while also porting it onto the next gen consoles. But due to the Batmobile's massive size and processing power, the game had to be ported onto the next gen consoles because they supported the technology that would be able to support the Batmobile in the game. So that in and of itself gives us a basic idea of how big the Batmobile in this game will be, and how much just of a behemoth beast monster it will be in this game. And that's why, again, it took as long to develop, because they were looking for the technology, they were developing it and waiting for the next-gen consoles to come out so that they could port it onto this. So the game is being ported onto next-gen consoles for a good reason, because the next-gen consoles support the technology that can help support this very game. So if that's the case, then I'm fine with getting a next-gen console to support the technology that is needed for this game. I don't mind that at all. I'm glad that they're not just porting onto next-gen consoles because, hey, we can make a shit ton of more money off of people buying next-gen consoles specifically for this game. So not only do we make money off the game, but we make money off of people buying the next-gen consoles. So I'm glad it's not, a big cash grab. I'm glad that they're taking as long as a very long time to make this game the best possible game they can. So that kind of debunks anyone's issues of this being, like a cash grab. It's not a cash grab, because if it was, it would have been rushed down a year or two after Arkham City. So I'm very, very happy about that. And to give you guys an idea of how massive the Batmobile in this is and how much processing power it takes, the Batmobile in and of itself is about 160 megabytes of processing power, which, to give you guys an idea of how big that is, that's about the majority of the processing power given in the Xbox 360 alone. So obviously this could not have been put onto the Xbox 360 or else the thing would have blown up. And to give you guys an idea of some of the stuff that the Batmobile can actually do in the game, the Batmobile can perform jumps. The thing can actually jump, again, taken from like the Christopher Nolan Christopher Nolan Tumbler from Dark Knight trilogy. It can perform speed boosts. It can rotate on its spot that where it is. Which at first when I heard that, I was like, what exactly does that mean? But then I started thinking about it, and I was like, oh wait, is it do that thing from Batman Returns where it has a little pole pop up from the bottom and it just spins around? Which if that's the case, then that's pretty cool. A nice throwback to an early iteration of Batman. So that's pretty cool. And something that it can do, which is kind of a given the size and just the overall how big the Batmobile is. It can smash through trees and barricades. Again, this thing is just a giant monster. It's a beast, and it alone would intimidate the villains itself. And that's actually something that they do. If Batman is driving the Batmobile and it rolls up to a giant crowd of villains or henchmen or whatever, some of the goons and the henchmen will actually run away in terror and in fear of the Batmobile alone, which that makes it so much easier not having to fight a huge giant crowd of henchmen and just getting hit and losing a lot of health. So that's really awesome. Again, the thing is just in and of itself a giant fear monster, a fear machine. It's just ridiculously huge and scary. And it can also fire missiles that immobilize other enemy vehicles. And that is something that is going to be a big aspect of this game, is the use of vehicles. Not only will you be able to use vehicles, but villains will also be able to use vehicles. You do kind of get an idea of that from the Arkham Knight official Father to Son trailer, which is a very touching trailer to me. Anything that has to do with Batman and his family, or Thomas and Martha Wayne, his parents, always strikes a chord in my heart, because that's very sentimental to me. I mean, I'm a big Batman fan, so whenever it has to deal with Batman speaking with his parents or learning advice from his parents, his dead parents or whatever, it strikes a chord with me. It's very sentimental to me, very touching to me. And that's something I found very touching about the overall trailer, which I'll also put in the description too. And something that's very cool and interesting about the Batmobile is it's very easy to summon. You can use it whenever you want in the game. There isn't key points in the game that you can only use it in. You can use it whenever you want to. It pretty much replaces the use of gliding in the game. That's how you got around in Arkham City and in Arkham Asylum and in Arkham Origins. This, you can just call the Batmobile up with just a single push of a button, and it just rolls up, speedy as hell, and you can just roam around Gotham in that itself. But that doesn't mean the gliding was taken away from the game. You still can actually glide in the game. And something that's very interesting about the gliding in the game is that you can now perform quick-fire gadgets with the gliding while you're gliding. Mid-air quick-fire gadgets. That means that you can fire batarangs while you're in mid-air. You can use a line launcher while you're in mid-air. Those were the only things that were so far confirmed, given the quick-fire gadgets in mid-air. But some of the stuff I'm hoping for is, I hope that we can use explosive gel in mid-air. How cool would that be? But I don't want it to just fall by an enemy or whatever. I want the explosive gel that you can stick on enemies. You remember in Dark Knight where Batman had that little sticky explosive gun thing that he used in Hong Kong? I want that. Can we get that? Instead of killing them, it just knocks them out. We can just go in for an ground takedown. I want that. Can we please get that as a new device or a new gadget? That'd be sweet. That'd just be awesome in and of itself. We can just blow up enemies wherever we want. Stick it on them, not by them. Actually on them, on their face. Like the glue grenade from Arkham Origins, but it can explode. It's not a piece of shit. Can we get that, please? That'd be awesome. And something that's also pretty interesting about the Batmobile is that it can actually be used sometimes Riddler challenges, which officially confirms the Riddler is back in this game. Riddler challenges from time to time will require you to actually use the Batmobile, because Riddler has set up several tunnels in Gotham City to, for Riddler challenges, and you'll have to use the Batmobile to get through said tunnels. So that's very interesting. The Batmobile in and of itself is creating a completely different game experience, something that I thought was incredibly lacking from Arkham Origins. It was just much the same of the other Batman games. It was just, in my opinion, the best hits Batman game. Nothing really original, just, oh hey, remember this from the other Batman games? Well, here it is again, just repackaged and with a different title, and that's it. But here, the Batmobile is alone giving us a completely different game experience from the other Batman games, which in my opinion, I think is something that is completely upping the ante from the other Batman, from Arkham City. Because way back in I think it was like summer of 2012 when a lot of the rumors for Arkham Origins started to pop up. I said that there was no way they can actually do a sequel to Arkham City because Arkham Asylum had a lot of stuff to improve upon, and Arkham City did that. What was there to improve upon in Arkham City? Really nothing. Well, apparently the Batmobile is one of them, and that's what they have in this game. So it's really creating, the Batmobile alone is creating a completely different game experience in and of itself. But I hope they don't rely heavily on the Batmobile, like, oh hey, this is the only thing that's different from the other games. I hope they do include some stuff to have the gameplay be different and feel different. And like I mentioned with the quick fire gadgets in midair, that is kind of helping that. While we also will be getting some new gadgets that will help to, create a completely different game experience. So far, the gaming experience is very different and diverse from the other Batman games. So that makes me very, very happy and very, very reassured that this game will be very different from the other Batman games. And also something regarding the Batmobile is that the Gotham streets have now been widened from the previous Batman games. You remember from Arkham City, the streets were really, really slim and slender, and they really weren't all that big to house cars. But now given this, again, the huge size of the Batmobile, just the massive size of the Batmobile, the streets have been now widened and enhanced to help accompany the size of the Batmobile. So that's very, very cool. Just a little thing I wanted to throw in there. And now that we got the huge giant behemoth of the Batmobile out of the way, I want to talk about the actual plot of the game. The basic plot is Scarecrow from Arkham Asylum is like, hey, I'm back. Don't know how I'm back, but I got eaten by a crocodile man in Arkham Asylum, but anyways, I'm back. I enhanced my fear toxin. I am gonna blow it up and just send it all over Gotham City. So Gotham City citizens, get the fuck out of here. You're not allowed here anymore. So that explains why when you're driving in the Batmobile, you won't see any Gotham pedestrians anywhere. So that's kind of cool. But also, that's not only Scarecrow's big plot, but Scarecrow is also ganging up and setting up a huge giant legion of Batman villains to finally take out Batman once and for all. So Scarecrow is now threatening Gotham. The only people that are really left in Gotham are some of the GCPD officers, like Commissioner Gordon and some other officers here and there, Batman, and the majority of the villains. The villains, for the first time in the Batman Arkham games, are teaming up. They're now teaming up against one common foe, which is the Batman, which is really, really cool in my opinion. That's something about the Batman villains that I really do admire, is that all of them hate each other. Like if you play Arkham City, that's very, very present. Like that idea is very, very present. There's a lot of gangs in different territories in Arkham City, and each gang hates each other. Like the Penguin gang and the Two-Face gang hate each other, which kind of made it odd within the trailer. We got like Penguin handing Two-Face a machine gun of some sorts. And they're just like buddies. Like, oh, hey, let's go kill Batman together, buddy, even though we hated each other in Arkham City. That's kind of odd. But again, they're united against a common foe, which is Batman, so I guess I'll let it slide. It's just a minor nitpick. I mean, if I was really going to hate the trailer based on that alone, I'd be a giant asshole. Yeah, I am a giant asshole, definitely, but I would be an even massive asshole than I already am if I were to complain about something as small as that. Also, talking about some characters that are returning, like I mentioned, Scarecrow is returning, Riddler is returning, which is really, really awesome. Harley Quinn is actually returning, and I'm especially excited to see her return because, given, again, Joker dying in the other Batman, in Batman Arkham City, I want to see how she is still recovering from that. And we also have Two-Face and the Penguin, like I mentioned. So far, 5 confirmed villains. Well, actually 6, because Arkham Knight's confirmed. Those are the characters that we have so far. And the 5 villains that are returning from the other Batman games will have their voice actors reprising their roles respectively, so that's also great. Like Troy Baker as Two-Face, Nolan North as the Penguin. I still find it odd that that's Nolan North voicing the Penguin. I mean, I'm so used to hearing Nolan North in like Uncharted or Superboy and Young Justice, and we hear him play the Penguin. He does a great job. It's just very, very odd. It's like, oh my god, it's Nolan North. That's crazy. I can't even tell. Tara Strong is, Harley Quinn, Wally Wingert, I believe, as the Riddler, and whoever played Scarecrow in Arkham Asylum will be playing him again here. Actually, I don't know if that's confirmed. That's just me saying it, so I don't know if that's confirmed. Don't take it seriously, because that may not be the case. I don't know, but Scarecrow is essentially the main villain in this game. But um, again, I don't think he's going to be like the main villain. I think again, like I mentioned before, Joker. I find it hard to believe that Joker will not have some type of presence in the game. I mean, especially given Arkham City. This is the last Batman game of the Arkham franchise, so I think Joker's gonna have some type of not only physical appearance, but some type of physical presence in the actual game, or some type of metaphorical or symbolic presence in the game. Well, seeing as how Scarecrow is going to be in the game, seeing as how he has a big part in the game, I'm thinking that they're going to actually rip something off from the Batman Triumphant script. Seeing as how Scarecrow has a new enhanced version of the fear toxin, I think that means that they're gonna actually rip off something from the Batman Triumphant script, and you're probably asking 1, 2, 3 movies. Well, what's Batman Triumphant? Well, I'm glad you asked, viewer, you moron. Batman Triumphant it was the Batman movie that Joel Schumacher wanted to make after Batman and Robin. It was the proposed third movie for third Joel Schumacher Batman movie that was going to be made after Batman and Robin, but due to the financial most critical failure that was Batman and Robin, they scrapped that script and they scrapped the script and they scrapped the whole project together, and they just ended up making Batman Begins. But that script had the Joker return, but as a hallucinogenic fear brought on by Scarecrow's fear toxin. Scarecrow was going to be one of the main villains in the movie, and the Joker would have came back. It would have been played by what's his face, Jack Nicholson again, as reprising his role as Joker, and it would have had the Joker being brought back, but as a hallucinogenic fear brought on by Scarecrow's fear toxin, as Batman's fear. I'm thinking maybe, seeing as how Scarecrow's fear toxin is, enhanced and it's better than before, maybe they'll do something like that. Again, it's a nice little throwback to, a previous iteration of Batman that was never made, so it's not really an iteration of Batman. But, anyways, that's what I'm personally thinking. I would like to see that. I like to see something along the lines of that. But then again, I think the big question is, who's going to voice the Joker? Because, Mark Hamill has come out and said that he's not going to be reprising the role of Joker ever again. But then again, before Arkham City, he has said that before, and he still came back to the Joker, so you never know. But if Mark Hamill doesn't come back to the Joker, and they still have Joker as a physical presence in the game, Troy Baker, I guess, makes sense. I mean, voiced him in Arkham Origins, and he did a great job. So I guess that would make sense, but I highly doubt that Mark Hamill will not play the Joker. If the Joker does show up in this game, especially, I bet you Mark Hamill will play him, okay? I mean, Mark Hamill is not an idiot. He's big, he loves the fans, he loves playing the Joker character. I bet he'll show up in this Batman game. And if he shows up in this one, then this is probably going to definitely be his last turn as Joker. I still think his last turn as Joker should be like an animated Batman The Killing Joke movie, or some type of Batman The Killing Joke that has to do with voice work in it. I think that would be a great send-off. That's like my all-time favorite Joker story. But I'm going way off track. Where was I? I was talking about the plot of the game, like I mentioned. Scarecrow is getting a whole giant legion of Batman villains together, and they're going to take out Batman once and for all. That's the basic gist of the plot. There's no other Gotham citizens in the city. It's just villains, Batman, and some of the GCPD, and that's really about it. So Batman is now officially saving Gotham. And speaking of Gotham, Rocksteady has come out and they have said that the map of Gotham is, or the map of the game, the essential map of the game is about 5 times. Yeah, count 5 times. Not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, but 5 times bigger than the map of Arkham City, and 5 times bigger than Arkham City alone, which is absolutely ridiculously insane. If you don't remember from Arkham City, the map of that game was pretty damn big. It was half of Gotham. It was one half of the island of Gotham, and you had this huge giant open world city, this huge giant open city to roam around and fly around in. And not only that, but you also had various buildings that you can go into, which are in and of itself. Those buildings were in and of themselves, giant mazes and places that you can roam around and go through in, which are almost as big as the city themselves. It's not a little bit more interesting to go through. So the map of Arkham City was huge. Now they want to make this 5 times bigger than that map. That kind of worries me because I'm afraid I'm going to get lost in the game. I mean, it's 5 times bigger than that of Arkham City. I don't know how exactly they're going to end up doing that because wasn't Arkham Origins map like twice the size of Arkham City's? It was like we got one half of Gotham in Arkham City, and then we got the other half plus the one half that was in Arkham City in this game. So how exactly are they going to make Arkham or Gotham City 5 times bigger than the map in Arkham City? Seems kind of odd to me. Well, they described that the game will take place mostly in central Gotham or the main center of Gotham City, and the island will be split into 3 different categorized sections. So that's the best way that they described it as. And they described that the overall map will be very, very detailed and will be very, very, have you doing a lot in the game. They made the map very, very big, but they didn't make it big just to say, oh, hey, look, we made a giant map, so that's pretty awesome, right? But they also made it big so that they can give you a lot of stuff to do and a lot of stuff to look for, because the map is very, very detailed. It's a very, very detailed and big open world, but they gave you a lot of stuff to do, which pretty much just summed up the reason why I ended up not liking Batman Arkham Origins as much as I did, because the map of the game, like I mentioned, was double the size of that of Arkham City. Like, we got one half of Gotham in Arkham City, we got both halves of it in Arkham Origins, but there was nothing to do. There was nothing to do in this big, giant open world. There was nothing at all to look for. There was nothing interesting in the city to look for. I mean, there was some stuff that you could do after the main game was over, but it was very, very repetitive, very, very uninteresting, and just not detailed at all. Here, they made a giant map, but they made it a giant map for a reason, because they wanted to give you guys a lot of stuff to do, and it was very, very detailed, so it would give you a lot of Easter eggs and fun stuff to look for, like in the other Batman games, like in Arkham Asylum and Arkham City. So the map is big, but it's got a lot of stuff for you to do. So that's the reason why it's a big, giant open world map. So I'm very happy about that. That just about summed up my main problem with Arkham Origins, which it's like if you're gonna have this giant, big open world map and have nothing to do in that said open world map, what's the point of having this big, giant open world map? I mean, it's like the equivalent of being given the keys to a car, but only having like $1 worth of gas in the tank of that car. It's like, what am I gonna do? Go up in the street and back? Like, I just walk. I don't need a car to do that. So I'm very excited about that. I'm glad. That was something that I was extremely disappointed with in Arkham Origins. There's nothing to do in the big open world. Now we are being given a lot of stuff to do in the open world, so that's fantastic, and I really can't wait to see that. And also, just some minor little stuff, little last-minute stuff I have for you guys. We will have some villains returning from the previous Arkham games, but we also will have some characters in general returning from the Arkham games, like James Gordon and Barbara Gordon, James Gordon's daughter, or Oracle as she's known in these games, except for Arkham Origins. But she'll also be making a physical appearance in the game. From Arkham Asylum to Arkham City, Oracle was just a little noise, a little voice, and an earpiece that Batman had. But now we will be getting a physical appearance when you go and visit her in her little clock tower hideaway, which is pretty cool. And from the Game Informer that we got for this, which will be coming out next month, Game Informer described her hideout, and one of the things that they described that they put into the game, or one of the things that the people saw during the demo for this game, was a Grey Ghost poster, which, if you're a big Batman fan like I am, the Grey Ghost was an episode from the animated series. Well, the full title of the episode was called Beware the Grey Ghost. And in that episode had, the Grey Ghost was a character that Bruce Wayne watched as a kid, and that was something that inspired Bruce Wayne to become Batman. And the Grey Ghost character himself in that episode was voiced by Adam West, the original TV Batman from 1966. So not only is this a big throwback to the animated series, but it's also a throwback to the 1966 Adam West Batman show. So that's awesome. I can't wait to see that. I hope we get a picture of that in Game Informer, which will look absolutely sweet. And something I also want to talk about is, given the technology of this game, and the technology in the new next-gen consoles, the graphics and the overall look of Batman Arkham Knight will be completely different and will be completely new and much more updated from the other two Batman games. The graphics and the overall look of the other two Batman games were very, very nice, very, very pretty, but they're going to look absolutely amazing in here, to the point where the same quality of the graphics that you get for the gameplay will be the exact same quality of the graphics for the cutscenes. So never will it be the cutscene graphics be different in pre-rendered CGI from the cutscenes in the gameplay. Cutscenes in the gameplay will have the same quality as cutscenes in, well, cutscenes. So that's really interesting. So overall, it's going to look like a completely different game from the other two Batman games, or three Batman games actually. And it's just going to be very, very pretty to look at. Like, if the game ends up sucking, I can at least turn off the volume and just look at it and be like, oh my god, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful looking game. So that kind of sucks for blind people if you can't see the game. But that about does it. That's really about it. I think the only other thing I can really mention is that Kevin Conroy is back as Batman, but we kind of all expected that because kind of let that slip last year at Dallas Comic-Con, so yeah, not a big surprise that he's back, but I'm glad he's back, and that's really great. Hopefully, Mark Hamill will come back as Joker, and hopefully the Joker will make an appearance in this game. Again, I find it hard that he won't if this is the last game that they're making. Because the last thing that they're making, they have to have the Joker in it. It's just essential. I mean, it's been in all of the Batman games so far. It's kind of like, why not have him in the last one? Especially the last one. I mean, having in this one was just kind of pointless. Like, you really didn't need him. You just really didn't need to have him in this one. But you need to have him in this one. You need to have him in this one. It's the last game. The last one. You need to have the Joker in it. So, hopefully, I'm putting my money on it. I bet that the Joker's going to be in this game some way, somehow. Hopefully, he'll be voiced by Mark Hamill. I'm putting my money on that too. The Joker appears in this game, which I think he will. He will be voiced by Mark Hamill. He has to be. I think it's just Mark Hamill playing a little Jedi mind trick, because yeah, he played Luke Skywalker. So I think it's just him playing little Jedi mind tricks and everyone saying, I will not be the Joker anymore. I totally am. So, yeah. He's played Jedi mind tricks on people before. I'm pretty sure it will work now. So, he's gonna be the Joker in this. And the Joker's gonna be in it. I'm putting my money on it right now. If I don't, then, well, shit, I'll probably look like a complete ass in a couple of months. But you know what? Still, I'm putting my money on it right now. At the time I'm doing this video, he's gonna be in it. Joker's gonna be in it. Mark Hamill's gonna play him. It's just speculation from me, but I think he's gonna do it. I think that's gonna happen. It has to happen. He wants to be the big giant. Oh my god, grand finale. You have to have him. Even if it is, again, like I said, like a hallucination brought on by the fear toxin, even then, I'll be satisfied. But you have to have it be, especially in the last Batman game. Like, even if Batman does end up dying, and for some reason he goes to hell, I don't know why. Maybe he molested a kid, or something like that. Maybe he molested Robin, I don't know. And that's why he's going to hell. Have the Joker be in hell, right there, like saying, shit, why are you here? Like, I'm here for a reason, many reasons, but fuck is your pointy eared ass doing in here? But I digress. Maybe it was for putting Robin in that skin tight outfit. I don't know. Maybe God frowns upon that. I don't know. But that about does it for my part 1 of my multi-part Batman Arkham Knight updates videos. And this is like 50 minutes long, so I fear the length of my future Batman Arkham Knight update videos, but kind of giving a little bit of leeway on this one. There was a lot of news released with this announcement. There was a lot of stuff I really had to get off my chest, so I'm sorry, but I got it out to you guys. I got it out to you before the week ended, and I still got to do that Lego Batman tutorial. I'll get on that very soon. I'll probably be uploaded before tomorrow. So I'll see you guys then. I will get on that as fast as I can, so I'll see you guys later. I'll see you guys actually next week with my review of the first X-Men movie. Why? Well, Days of Future Past is coming up pretty soon, so I'm going to get on the X-Men movies. I'm going to get on reviewing those a little bit early. So, yeah, I'll see you guys next week with my review of X-Men from 2000, way from back in 2000. So I'll see you guys then. I will be back with more Batman Arkham Knight update videos. I'll also be back later. I'll also be back throughout the whole year with Bat Year or my Descent into Mystery videos. The next one I'll be doing, which is a review, I'll be doing probably a review of the animated movie, another animated movie, because we have Son of Batman coming up, so I gotta review at least one animated movie before that comes out. So, yeah, that about does it for my Batman Arkham Knight update video part 1. I'll see you guys with more updates in part 2. I'll see you guys with more Batman videos in my, Bat Year videos. I'll see you guys with more videos when I do another video, which is next week. So, see you guys then. I'm tired. It's like 4 in the a.m. I'm fucking tired, so I'll see you guys then. See ya. Bye.